So Spirit Airlines has officially shut down after 34 years. I didn't even know Spirit was in existence for 34 years.
Neither did I. I thought that was new.
So Spirit has officially shut down, halting all operations immediately following failed attempts to secure a $500 million government bailout and after years of financial instability. So they have just canceled all the flights. They're telling you either you got to book with another airline, or they're talking about getting refunds, all type of different things. My question to y'all is, where do the poor go to travel now? Now, a lot of people say cancel Frontier next. And I'm thinking, you dumbass, these are the only two budget airlines. If they cancel Spirit and Frontier, now you got to go to the upper echelon, which means paying more money.
Southwest ain't us. I was just say Southwest you can do Southwest. I can't stand that airline.
It's not as cheap as Spirit.
No.
It's not as cheap as Frontier.
Niggas.
So the point is, if they eliminate the budget airlines, what is that really saying for the people who can't afford to travel on the upper echelon of airlines?
It was the motherfuckers they probably didn't want in the air anyway, because you got to be honest with you. Stuff like Spirit, I call that soul plane. And we know who takes Spirit. Let's just keep it a buck. I hate to do that to our people or people of that kind of, it's our people. And it's usually the undesirables that none of us even want to be around. That's a soul plane airline. I didn't even know. I thought Spirit was new. I didn't take Spirit to that time we went to Frisco. That was the first. I take Delta and all the other ones. But for those people who financially can't afford it, they don't want you there anyway. Because I hate to sound on some, what's that socialism shit, but unfortunately, your financial status tends to kind of have a mentality that's attached to it. And those type of people on those airlines, and it's not necessarily our people, but those people low budget, they got low budget mentalities and how they conduct themselves. I'm just keeping it above.
I'm going to say this then. Rest in peace to Spirit. Y'all took me to some good places.
Hey, I've been on Spirit. I'm not against it, but I chose not to go for specific reasons, and it has to do with the caliber of the passengers.
I'm going to be honest. 5 hours and under, I'm always looking for the Spirit price. 5 hours and under, I'm 9 times out of 10 looking for the Spirit airline. And I'm gonna say this too. There's a misconception on who flies Spirit. I flew in a lot of places Spirit. Everybody on Spirit.
That's what
White people on Spirit. Asians on Spirit, Hispanics on Spirit, them Indians on, nigga, everybody fly Spirit. We get the bad rap because every time you see a fight at Spirit, it's usually us. But trust me, they on Spirit, nigga.
I'm gonna tell you this, and I agree with you. When it comes to Spirit Airlines, I was somebody using Spirit. You said 5 hours. I can't do 5 hours. For sure, 3. And I'm gonna tell you this. Anytime, and this is what people forget about Spirit. It's only a carry-on you can have on that motherfucker. You have one of them heavy bags, they charge you up for that price to get on Spirit. That's how they get their money. So really for me, it was more so Spirit was more so turnaround. If I'm going to Vegas, if I'm going to Frisco, something like that real quick, I don't mind Spirit because again, all it is transportation to get to my destination. I didn't look at it in that way. The seats are very uncomfortable. And for me, I'm 6 feet, over 250. So that's why I'll be like uncomfortable with Spirit. Plus I like my ginger ale and peanuts paws on the flight. They don't offer those. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was kind of frowned upon Spirits. But as far as just means of transportation, Spirit was very efficient as far as like the quick turnaround trips, because if you knew the game, your flights was cheaper if you go in person to LAX to buy it than buy it online. I learned so much. Shout out to bro, putting me up on game about low flights and stuff like that. So again, I appreciate Spirit. I pray that the government bail them out because really it is a way for people who can't afford to travel, a means of traveling. And on top of that as well, it's efficient for the quick turnarounds. And again, budgeting. You got the higher echelons, Mercedes-Benz, and then you got the lowest of the lows of like the Honda beat-up Civics. It's levels for a reason, man. Not
killing our Spirit is crazy. To me, Spirit, I seen Spirit, that line was always, that motherfucker was never looking dull to me to when I seen people. But the only difference is, to me, it's like people bash Spirit, but outside of Spirit, if you not in first class or business class, your flight ain't all that anyway. You think you jumping on
Southwest, JetBlue.
What's the other stuff called?
JetBlue.
It's the red
Frontier.
Delta. The ones that go out the country and stuff.
Emirates.
Yeah, Emirates or whatever that is. Like you jumping on these other different type of planes. If you not really bossed up if you're not even first class and none of that anyway.
Business class, first class.
So you still down there tucked how you in. So
I agreed. If you,
So
I
nigga be a
heard-
dummy to jump on one of them planes. You got the same
I
type of
heard
seats,
people
and
say
you
that.
and you don't want to get on Spirit and pay the low.
I've heard rich people or entertainers or they stay. Hey, once you go in first class, that's the only way to fly. And plus now they got the money they've experienced and they got the money. So it sound bougie, but I get it. Let me get in first class. I'm probably never going back either. So I agree with what you're saying. But because I've been on different airlines, JetBlue, I might be in coach, but JetBlue is way more comfortable.
The experience is different.
The
for
experience,
sure.
the seating. That's what I'm on, the seating. Most of the airlines that I take outside of Southwest and Spirit is more comfortable. Just bottom line, nigga, I ain't up on nobody like this. And seats hard, it's comfortable. So you could be riding coach. I have to disagree. Depending on the airline, it is a better, more enjoyable flight experience. Now, if it's just about coach and first class, hey, nigga, if you ain't in first class, what you really talking about?
The reason I'm really bringing this up is not so much just clown Spirit. This is really going to cut off a large portion of the population from being able to travel. A lot of people can literally only afford Spirit, especially you want to take your kids somewhere. I don't know if y'all been looking at prices, but prices for the summer have jumped 50% just from last summer. So the exact same destinations you went last summer, if you bought a plane ticket, double that. Now Spirit is gone. It's going to get ugly for a lot of people. That's why I said 5 hours and under, because like Short said, they tax you to bring the bigger bags on. But the way to get around that was get one of the travel backpacks. You could fit damn near a week worth of clothes in there.
Military
So,
rolling.
because you going where? Miami, New York, you might go to Philly, Chicago, Texas, Houston. Like, that's pretty much where you're going on Spirit. You're not going overseas or nothing crazy.
16 hours.
Yeah, you're usually going on a weekend trip, Friday to Monday or something like that. Pack everything in a backpack, go turn up, come back, save $1,000. Like, it was.
Shout out to the trick that my boy Viral taught me. Hey, don't buy the person. Wait till you get to the location, hit Target up so you can get more room on your backpack. And you know what I'm saying? That makes more sense. Again, you learn a lot more tricks of the trade once you start traveling. And Spirit has taught me that at the end of the day, yeah, they may tax you on the prices, but guess what? We still getting there at an efficient price. And I had more money to turn up when I got to my location. I was just more so like, hey, as long as we get there, I'm not even tripping. Because at the end of the day, once we in the air, who really care about this highlighter ass plane? We just trying to stay alive. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I really hope because at the end of the day, the government has to give them that loan. They did that. Remember when Ford was going through that situation, that bailout? Man, bailout Spirit, bro. But I think it's an agenda because now if you keep the poor from traveling, you don't open up that third eye.
It is an agenda. They just want to. I think it's another test. They want to see how it's gonna work, what people gonna accept. You know what I'm saying? Because if they got a certain amount of airlines, and then you see that the way how TSA and stuff look right now, it's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible right now.
I'd like to see who the big wigs of Spirit, like who did they support during the election, who are they in bed with, because they already went to Trump once to get the relief and he denied it. So that's why they're in the situation they're in. So my thing would be, he probably has some personal vendetta against whoever it is that is one of the big wigs. So I'm not giving you this 500. I'm just not doing it because you said fuck Trump or you sat down with Nancy or some Democrat I didn't fuck with. It's probably something like that. We're not gonna know about that, but I think that's what it is. Then you have the increasing fuel prices. They just can't. They're not making enough to be able to stay afloat, so they need that loan. And you going to a nigga who probably don't.
It's like, damn, how much do an airplane got to make at this point? Because I'm just saying, even if you go to LAX, you gonna see Spirit flying out in and out that motherfucker plenty of time.
I'm just saying from like a fuel expense, like
that's why I'm asking, like, how much y'all think a plane costs to because what you got to do, maintenance and keep it manufactured, and like you said, everything else. But other than that, y'all making money daily, like.
Well, they said Spirit was in the negative.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, like when you really look into most businesses in general, most mom and pops, they're either barely breaking the even or they're in the red. That's the reality of most businesses, especially in America. It's just that they have the workarounds to, hey, let me go put the G-Wagon on because it's this amount of weight. Let me go put it on the bid. You know, niggas do all of that stuff. That's what a lot of business people do. They're using their business credit, etc. But most businesses are in the red. Especially a business like Spirit, again, when they're giving out the cheaper tickets, there's things happening, and now you have this increase in fuel where it's like, they're probably fueling up more than other people because they're making more stops.
So
that comes into play.
this is the first major airline being canceled in 25 years.
Wow.
On top of Spirit filed for bankruptcy twice, 2024 and 2025. So the major cause of them really going out of business are the raising prices of the fuel. So they can't keep up with the cost of the fuel, which is tied to what? All of these foreign international problems that we having with right now. Iran, Venezuela, we just took over Cuba. So they can't keep up with the prices that's going up, just like Americans can't keep up with the goddamn gas prices. So all of that shit is tied.
And it's like, how's the government?
The Cuba nowadays. I don't know if y'all saw that. You saw that? Yeah, they opened that up.
And I was gonna say, like you just said, bro, this is a struggle of what American people are dealing with right now. And so at the end of the day, bro, this is where we have to start changing our views of who's really in control. At the end of the day, y'all saying one party is better than the next, and Trump is gonna do this and this. Trump has done everything he said he wasn't gonna do, and he has done. So that lets you know, as American people, where do you stand? What are you gonna tolerate? At the end of the day, homie, it's in our control. We been said, homie, stand up. We united as one. Don't pay tax. We got to pick a day when we're not paying taxes. And if you have a W-2, we're the most highest tax people because we are already working for somebody. When you have businesses, you have benefits of writing tax write-off in business laws. They give you a reason. So I feel like it's a bigger agenda, like you just said, because even if a business is losing money, there's still tax write-off you can benefit off of losing money.
It's not a bad
Debt is
business.
Got good debt.
To a certain degree. You need debt because that shows that
you can have much profit.
yeah, and it gives you debt is just credit. That's really all it is. You have the ability you're in this amount of debt because you got this deal.
So
That's
So in 2024, they tried to merge with JetBlue, but the powers that be blocked it.
Wow.
So it was already planned for them to get shut down. It just was a work in progress. So this is over a 2-year process.
And JetBlue, I don't know when, but over the last few years, they've actually ascended because there was a time where I can only catch JetBlue out of Long Beach. They've not been at LAX long. They've only been at LAX between the last maybe 6 to 7 years. So that would have been good for Spirit to link with them because they ascended.
And JetBlue probably looked at it like that. Like, we can make more money together.
I'm only flowing that shit once.
So just follow the trends. Everything is usually connected. Nothing is an isolated incident. They've been saying it publicly. They don't want the poor traveling. They want they closing the fences. Free range chicken. You think you free, them fences closing in.
So
Yeah, because once they start, because then we seeing all this, it's like they keep trying things, and then it get to a point where like y'all just ain't flying at all. You can't even buy a ticket.
You can't fly at all. They go give you those oscillant glasses, those meta glasses to put these on, and now you're on vacation in your mind. You're not traveling. You're not even going there. You're just imagine that if you're there. They're trying to limit your imagination, and that's what we're lacking now. Imagination. I remember as a kid, you used to believe anything, give you the hopes to make you want to go do something.
They trying to low key create it to the point where we living like that. What was that show? Was that Paradise or one of them? They had the fake sun and
Paradise.
Else, where you ain't going, you just gonna be in that globe. You ain't doing no flying.
That dome, the bubble, and that's just what it is.
Because it wasn't just poor using Spirit. It was middle class families using Spirit as well. So if you're not upper class or rich, they're limiting your ability to travel. I'm gonna get in the car and drive cross country.
No,
you know how much gas is, bro? So they limiting you every which way, and ain't nobody really paying attention. Y'all celebrate. No, close frontier next. Dumb fuck. That's how you get around.
But our people be so like happy to go spend more bread.
I was just about to allude to that.
Now I'm out of United. I'm spending $600. Like you niggas could never. You know that's really what it be. Like
the competition.
It's like nigga, I take the $200, $100 ticket and get there because we all getting there. At the end of the day, nigga, I just want to get from point A to point B.